Good morning. It's the 18th of November 2025. And the top story of the day for me has been the announcement that there is now 185 countries that are operating the BRIC system. Now, for those people who are watching this and have enjoyed 100 years of US hegemony, the realization will sink in that one country called the United States of America Corporation against 185 countries, including Brazil, Russia, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia. They're some of the big ones. India, when they behave, is a momentous task. Things are moving forward. The days of the corporation of the United States of America are over. And it will be painful for some people because you've always been told you're the best. And you're in control of the world. I was watching a video last night of a couple of 2 or 3 lads from Sweden that I like, called Yes Theory. They travel all over the world. There's an island in the middle of the Pacific that nobody's ever heard of, that they've just been to, that was invaded by the Americans during the Second World War. And it was also used to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima. Next to Guam, not Guam, but next to Guam. Do your own research. So you've had the control for so long, but now, because you put sanctions on countries and restricted countries and tariffs on countries, countries have gone enough's enough. We'll use our own currency. And as Sergei Lavrov rightly said, when you put us under that much pressure, we have to come up with a solution. We don't just surrender. So we're watching a transformation right now. And the interesting part for me, a very interesting part, is that we're told to trust the media. That very same media that we're told to trust have not reported on this 185 countries joining BRICS. So why should we trust you when you're not telling us what's going on? You're only telling us the propaganda that the government pays you to tell us, rather than the truth. And that is why Paul and myself and Drew have found a space in the news sphere of the world that people want to know the truth. They want to know what's going on. And that's what we're doing. We're filling that void. And I'll tell you right now, it's a big void. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Charlie, and hello, everybody. Well, talking about exposing, we're watching the rats in Europe squirm because they want to pull off the biggest theft that they've ever done. And they are panicking because they think they're going to get caught. The EU is preparing to share the legal and financial risks of using Russia's frozen assets to support Ukraine. The plan centres on $140 billion loan backed by Russian central bank funds held in Belgium. Belgium has pushed back, warning it could face major lawsuits from Moscow, which has called any seizure of its assets theft and threatened retaliation.
Well, Paul, they've got a lot to hide. NATO and the EU and the corrupt corporation of America are controlling their human trafficking, child trafficking, and their bioweapons out of Ukraine. They don't want to lose that. And I've often said that this is why Putin and Sergei Lavrov were adamant that they're not going to give in. Because what we're being told by mainstream media is nothing more than a lie. If you're going to invade a country, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. If you're going to invade a country like Ukraine, the first place you take is Kiev, not the Donbass. It's like invading England and saying, I'll take the Isle of Wight. Paul might be happy, he lives down there. Can you imagine the stupidity of that? And yet you've fallen for it. You've fallen for it. That Russia has invaded Ukraine. It hasn't. Russia has gone into the Donbass region to stop human trafficking and bioweapons. And the bioweapons are to reduce the population. And NATO is involved in reducing the population. This is why they want a war. The World Economic Forum has it on their website. It's time to wake up.
Well, Charlie, leads me into my next story. A new US-Swiss trade deal is making headlines after reports that Swiss business leaders brought luxury gold gifts to the White House shortly before the agreement was finalised. The deal slashes US import tariffs on Swiss goods from 39% to 15% and includes a pledge from Swiss companies to invest $200 billion into the US economy.
It's nice that they're bringing gold, isn't it, Paul? Isn't it nice?
Oh, yes.
And before we came on air, Paul and I were talking about how the Democrats right now have nearly jumped in with both feet. We heard, obviously, from Kash Patel and from Pam Bondi that there was no Epstein files. And the reason this was done, as I told you yesterday, was to provoke the Democrats to say, we've got them. Because the one that the Democrats have are all fake. They've removed their own names and put in Trump's name. The trouble is they found out that the good guys knew this. So now you're absolutely right. They're all in panic, aren't they, Paul?
Oh, aren't they, Charlie? So much so that President Trump said he would sign the bipartisan Epstein Files Transparency Act if it passes both House and Senate. The bill would require the Justice Department to release case files on Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, it's brilliant, Charlie. He's laid the perfect trap.
He has, and there was a lot of us who were wondering why Kash Patel and Pam Bondi would say there was no files. Now we know. And that was the news on the 18th of November, 2025. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Take care.